Hello YouTube, this is my sugar list. I think recently, the last tournament I played with sugar, I went 2-2. 2 wins against two different Usopp players, and then my 2 losses were to pre-banned Lucci and Anel. So yeah, just 2 matchups that were just like really hard. I feel like Yellow in general is just a really hard matchup for Sugar because once it becomes like the grind game, Yellow just has a lot of tools to kind of just like chip away at your life and just heal themselves, and it just makes it really hard for this deck to play against Yellow, in my opinion. But most of the other matchups, it like really held its ground in and performed exceptionally well. And this is my list. So, if you guys don't know what Sugar Leader does, she says on the end of your turn, if you have a Don Quixote Pirates with a type with a 6,000 power or more, you can restand 1 Dawn at the end of your turn. And then she has an opponent's turn clause. When you activate an event, you can ramp a Dawn, which is kind of crazy that you're interacting on your opponent's turn. So I think interactions on your opponent's turn are really cool in any game. Shout out Yu-Gi-Oh, I guess. So yeah, we are on 2 0-cost event, just plus 3,000. I like this at 2 because you can recycle it with Senior Pink later on in the game if you are like really bricked up. And you're like, hey, this is just a free counter just to cycle out of life. You can pitch it early, and then acquire this back with Senior Pink, which is really cool.
Yeah, like the deck's also kind of event heavy as well, so you want to be able to pitch those after you used up all your Dawn and things like that.
Exactly. We are on 4 Searchers. We're on 4 Sugar.
The main card.
The main Searcher of the deck. It's a pseudo blocker, right? I mean, in a format where Blackbeard is kind of prevalent, it's really good to have a Searcher that rests itself, and then it becomes a pseudo blocker essentially. If not, Sugar will just continue to gain value and get you cards and search your deck for what you need.
Yeah, free value every single turn.
Yeah, so definitely I would recommend playing 4 of the Sugar. I'm on 2 of the Event Searcher. I see lists running around 2 to 3 to 4. The reason why I'm playing 2 is just so I can have a effect live on my opponent's turn and then just basically search what I need to. I feel like having too many of this card has felt bricky, if that makes sense. And then I bottom deck a lot of cards that are like super important that aren't searchable in the deck.
Yeah, you don't want to keep on digging too much, stacking your deck in the wrong way.
Exactly. So I think 2 is fine if you want to play more with over certain events, because this is such an event heavy deck. Like you can go a million different routes with this deck. This is just like a list that I've gotten consistency with and that I feel comfortable with myself. We are on 2 Divine Departure. This is good for both uses. Pop 8,000 power or just plus 3,000. I use it mostly for the plus 3,000. In this deck, I haven't actually used the active main effect on this. I feel like not having any setbacks for plus 3,000, just leaving a Dawn active is super, super good because a lot of people swing 7s. Hardly anybody swings 8s. Just unless you're playing Shanks, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, it depends on your matchup, essentially.
Yeah. But for the most part, people are swinging 7 into you to rip 2 cards from hand, and this says, no, I'm going to just play 1 event, and then I'm going to ramp it on. And
yeah. It's a good double-edged sword as well, because like you said, it's plus 3k for defensive purposes, and then you have the main effect. Yeah, you're resting 6 Dawn to use it, but you're popping 8k. Right now, the meta is like a lot of kids, so there's a lot of kids running around, so, you just gotta...
yeah, just go ahead and kill them on spot, you know what I mean?
Just pop them real quick, dude?
Super, super solid event, slow beam sword. So, Dawn -1, if you guys don't know what this does, it gives you plus 2,000 power, and then I can rest 1 of my opponent's characters. It is not cost restricted. So if your opponent is going super tall and you're just like, man, I don't really have counter to swing out of a 12, tap your character.
Yeah, it's really good, especially into the Shanks matchup when they're always keeping those high consistent bodies on field, and you just can't necessarily deal with that counter. So you just having that interaction is always nice.
Exactly. So if they get greedy and swing, like say with their leader early, and then you just go, okay, that's fine. I'm just gonna go ahead and rest your big body, so I don't have to put up a lot of counter for this and still get out of 1 swing.
Yeah.
So it's super good.
Good matchup into the red-green smoker as well. You know, they already have a kid situated or something like that, or they have a smoker in field. You can stop that smoker from doing bandage damage, or they have a Tashigi trying to protect their kid. You can just rest it. So next turn you can try to get rid of the kid no matter what.
Infinite amount of uses for this card. I think it's really good. We are on 2 Red Hawk.
Yep.
I think this card is really good still as well. I don't have the minus Dawn plus 4,000, and we're popping a character with 4,000 power left.
Plus the trigger just...
Plus the trigger saves your butt sometimes, potentially. Yeah. So, yeah, I think this is just all around a solid card. I try to keep this list super clean. Like no 1-ofs, no 2-ofs. It's like 2s and 4-ofs.
So quick question when it comes to the events.
Yeah.
Would you change the purple 0 cost for the red 0 cost just to have more protection, I guess, off of trigger, right?
The reason we play the purple one is for senior pink recycle.
Yeah, you said that already.
Yeah. No. You're good. Yeah.
But people might ask that and they might miss this, so I guess it works out.
The reason why we play purple 0 cost is for the recycle of it.
Yeah, of course.
We're on 2K counters. This I don't ever hardcast. It is just a searchable 2K, honestly. Archetypal, super solid.
Yeah, so she has on your opponent's attack, you can rest 2 Dawn cards and rest one of your opponent's 4 or less. It's niche interaction.
It's very niche interaction, yeah, 100%. We are on 2 Hell's Judgment. Minus 1 Dawn, give 2 of your opponent's characters or leader, I believe.
Yeah, I believe it's leader as well.
Yeah, leader or characters minus 3,000. Crazy. This card is crazy.
Stops 2 attacks essentially, or at least brings 1 into a good range for you to stop it. So it's versatile.
I think it's super versatile. I don't want to run more and I don't want to run less.
Yeah, and all the triggers right now are just ramping you up, Dawn, as well to help you stay consistent.
Exactly. We are on 4 Baby 5. This is a card that you could potentially play out and get value from the effect. Can you read the on play for me?
Yeah, you can trash 1 card from your hand. Your opponent... Wait, yes. If your leader has a Donkey Hilt, oh my goodness, pirate, you can add 1 Dawn from your Dawn deck and set it as active.
Yep.
So essentially, you just trash 1 card from your hand and you get the Rampant Dawn if your leader is part of the family.
Exactly. Super good card. I was on 4 of this, but I read her effect and I was like, yeah, maybe this could actually be played out as opposed to this. So,
yeah, be a lot better.
Yeah. We're on 2 Little Black Bears. This card is super good. Also recyclable off of Senior Pink. We have 4 event targets off of the recycle for Senior Pink, so like we're recycling.
Yeah.
Like super good card. We can draw off of this card effect and then gain plus what is it? Plus 4,000? Yeah.
Just very dieted giant, essentially.
Yeah, very good. We're on 4 Violets. Also our recycle card of the deck. Dawn minus 1. I can basically add back I think it's cost restricted, is this not? This is a 5 or less?
No, it just as a purple event from trash to hand.
It is not costed.
No. Just a regular blocker?
I think Senior Pink is the cost restricted one.
Yeah, Senior Pink's the only one.
Yeah, so Violet recycles all of these as well, so we're like, you can play her and still get a ton of value from her.
A lot of recurrence happening with this.
Exactly, for late game. I think that is super important, is your grind game, your late game, because obviously you're going to be leaving Dawn up off of your leader effect and just having it restand, so being able to constantly cycle out your deck and get into whatever you need to tap into to survive is super important. We're on 2 Usahachi.
The man.
Yeah. This card, funny enough, I wasn't recording this game, but I was playing against Crash TCG. He was on Green Yellow Law. I arrested Law and was able to swing in for lethal, which honestly won me the game. So having an option to tap into lethal if you're actually playing well and putting the pressure on your opponent and trying to go in for lethal, your opponent walls up, you don't really care anymore, right? I mean, you just go Usahachi and then swing with whatever you have on board and then go in for lethal.
Most decks, for the most part, their range is always going to be around the 5 range for a blocker. If anybody has anything higher, it's typically going to be Blackbeard. You know, you're not going to run into that many high-end blockers unless you run into a red-green smoker that's running the film package.
Exactly. I think 2 is super clean, just because you don't want to always see it, and it's like, it's not searchable as well, but if you see it and you just want to keep one in your hand for endgame, I highly recommend just running it.
It's a good clutch up. It's a good clutch up.
It is. We are on 4, Mr. 2, Bon Clay. So Yeah. This card is super fun to ramp in the mid game, and still be able to like you swing and then you ramp on 4 and then go to 1 and then you leave a Dawn up for one of your events. I think it's really good. I think ramping up faster to get to your top end is super
all
cool.
around a card that just ramps you and its counter at the end of the day is still good. And
it's a pseudo blocker. I mean, people have to respect this card.
As soon as they play something that's actually a threat, then it's like, okay, now I have a threat too, so deal with it. So.
Exactly. So Bonclay, I think I like it at 4. It's fun. And at the end of the day, if it's not getting its value, it's counter. So we're on 2 Godthread. I like this. I don't know if I want to play more or run less. Honestly, I've rarely played this card, but when I do, I've gotten hella value from it.
I mean, it just pops a 5 or less
and
for
ramps,
free.
and ramps Dawn.
And ramps an active Dawn. Like,
it's pretty good.
It's disgusting. Like, it's perfect for you too as well, because depending on most decks, you have a good mid range when it goes to that. Because once you hit that 5 Dawn curve, 4 Dawn curve, whatever it is, you're able to ramp up like you said.
Exactly.
So say like you go, Bonclay, you set up the next turn, you go into 6, your opponent say, another red green smoker. They drop like the 5-drop smoker, whatever it is, instant out, and then you're also ramping a Dawn that has defensive still on the next turn.
Yep.
It's
so good.
Nature, like, it is good.
Yeah. We are on a mandatory 4 Rosinante. For all your dead events for like certain matchups, this becomes a draw 2 and draws you into hopefully something that you can need and cycle into. So just another cycle card, and it makes your senior pink live. So if you just want to throw little black bears because you're like, why do I need this, turn 2? Just on play, trash little black bears, and then later on recycle it with senior pink.
Yeah. And the best part too, he restands 2 Dawn at the end of the turn. If you have 7 or more, like that's
it's crazy. It's generic. It's not leader lock, by the way. Just for you guys.
Good.
Don't know if I should be saying that, but yeah. We're on 2 senior pink. He should be on 4, but the reason we're not, I feel like it's just because it's non-counter, and I don't feel good about running lots of non-counter, even though we are event heavy. It does break up the hand, but whenever we do see him, we can search him, right? We have 2 ways to search him, and if we see him, he's recycling our events. So super good in my opinion.
Yeah, plus if you don't get to see him, you still have the violet as well.
Yep.
So you're not all
Yeah, I think there's probably an argument to be made to bump him up in the future, since we are purple event heavy. But we'll see. I'll see how the list goes tonight and see how I like it, and then make the changes where they're needed. We're on 4 Doflamingo. Super good card. I think maybe 3. There's been times where I see him in opening where I'm just like, oh my gosh, I have too many of this card, So just another like non-counter, super big meaty body, but he is the most important card in the deck because he makes you go super wide. And then
on play shits on another body.
Yep.
You do combination with Rosamonte.
Yeah, so if you don't know what Doflamingo does, if you don't mind reading.
Yeah, on play Dawn -1. If your leader is Don Quixote pirate type, play a 5 or less from your hand that makes a trade.
Yeah. So super good, and then on your opponent's attack, you can rest a Dawn to ramp a Dawn. So if you're trying to, it helps you ramp, right? If you go into him and you're not on your 10 Dawn curve, your next turn, you can just boop, tap a Dawn, and then, because you'll be able to off of your sugar, since you control him by your end turn, you can restand a Dawn and then tap it, obviously. Just to tap it. You don't even have to play it, and then you can just tap the Dawn if you don't have
just
one.
To get extra
just to get extra Dawn, yeah. I've forgotten that so many times.
Yeah, it's good because typically you're always going to have it in the turn a Dawn set up in some shape or form because you're going to be using it for your events. Right. So even though if you don't have one set up, you're still going to be able to ramp off of it.
Exactly. We're on 2 Naimon. I think I like this card at 2. It's come up where it's healed me, and I already control like a Rosinante Doflamingo and then heal off of it. So like the board is just super aggressive at that point, right? Like just having the option to heal in purple with such an event heavy deck is freaking insane.
Yeah, you already have a lot of the defenses, and then they have the ability to also heal on top of it.
It's just crazy. And then for the final boss monster of the deck, we are on 2 Shanks. Yep,
that sounds about right.
Yeah. yeah, I don't know if I need to really explain why this card's so good and why it's ran, but for everybody that doesn't know, it gives everything -1. Besides blanket effect, besides your leader, obviously. So all your opponent's characters that are now 5s become 4, so they have to commit Dawn to them, and then they have to commit more Dawn to out the body, right? To out Shanks. Really, the only thing that's outing Shanks is Red Rock or some major forms of reduction, like what is it, Round Table, or some just immediate like.
You need immediate removal.
Yeah, you need to have immediate removal and commit a lot of Dawn for this card.
Yeah, another Shanks essentially, or a fucking, what is it? The other Pop Shanks.
Yep. And if you don't,
12, I think.
And if you don't like a defensive version, this could be 4 Shanks, realistically speaking.
Yeah.
If you don't want to heal and you don't want to worry about it, and you just want to punch your opponent in the face and have an aggressive sugar list, yeah, by all means run 4 Shanks. But for this list, I kind of want to play mid-range. Like, I want to be aggressive when I want to, and then I want to be defensive at all times.
Yeah, it seems like your curve is really, you hit 4 or 5, and then you're able to start setting up everything essentially from there. Hopefully you can ramp up within the next turn, so you'll hit your 8 Dawn curve essentially, and be able to shit out your Doflamingo after the fact. It seems pretty good, to be honest. I can see some things that could change for other people. Essentially, like you said, you can change out the big bombs, make it fully Shanks. I think some people, like you said, you could probably get rid of the God Threats and probably make these in your pinks if people wanted to bump those up. Not necessarily.
Exactly.
But, there's definitely a lot of playroom with this deck, I can see.
So, do you see, like, just from you looking at it, do you see any, like, major weak points in the deck where you're just like, this is probably a questionable card that you're playing?
I don't necessarily see anything at the moment. I feel like you kind of have to see what you need to see. If not, then you're kind of hurting.
Yeah. That's
what it seems like. I'm kind of vibing with the deck.
Yeah.
But overall, once you hit your curve, you are pretty much, your ball is rolling at that point.
Yeah.
I don't really see you stopping long as you don't run out of gas.
Yeah.
You only have, what is this, eight 2K counters, right? So
yes.
2 Ultra Hachis, 2 Glorias, and then maybe 5s.
Yep.
Do you feel like that's too low?
There's been times, I think 8 is like the bottom, like the lowest amount of 2Ks I would run in any deck. And I think specifically for this deck, it's the lowest number I would ever run in any of my decks for 2K counters. Honestly, I guess there could be an argument to be made if you wanted to bump up 2K counters and cut out maybe the Bond Clay for ramp, but I just think ramp is just too good, bro.
That's
I think
fair.
you getting to like your 8 Dawn turn faster is super pivotal in like a match where you can go wide with Dofi into Rosie and then get so much value. It's just, I don't know, the options are just endless with this deck.
No,
and
definitely.
I see just so many lines that you can take with this deck. So like the piloting of this deck just becomes that more intricate and dynamic and super, super fun to play if you're into that kind of play style.
Yeah. How do you feel about the Red Hawks in the deck?
Red Hawk is so nice, bro. I love it. It punishes opponents for not respecting this card. So if they're playing out bodies that they intend to search with, or like say Bonnie establishes a searcher and then they swing, and you're just like, okay, I'm gonna pop your search for next turn or whatever. Or if they play a block route
early. It plays
early,
really well into a lot of matchups.
It does.
A lot of meta ones you're gonna be seeing right now. A lot of smokers, a lot of Shanks with their. Actually, it doesn't really affect. I guess they're Utas, but they already used it.
Yeah.
Don't mind.
Well, some of them play Hongo early, right? They'll play
that's true. Yeah.
They'll play the
Those
Hongo
try to have
early.
this set up because they don't think that you're gonna have that type of removal. So yeah, that's
no. It
like
punishes. I feel like it punishes literally every deck that wants to establish early turn plays.
Yeah. Especially once you get that Shanks established, then almost everything's definitely in range for it.
Exactly. This is the list that I'm going to be taking to locals tonight. Only Pasta and I know this. But we'll see how it performs. I don't expect it to just, beat up Blackbeards and Shanks and kids, but Yellow Kid. But I wanted to give it a run for its money and to show people, like, hey, you have to respect this deck because it could do crazy things.
Yeah, a lot of people are definitely sleeping on this deck, and it's a Caesar deck as well. They just don't really care to show it any type of light. But it's definitely some decks that are being slept on. They have potential, and it just depends on the pilot, I think.
Exactly. Any final thoughts? I think maybe after like playing, I might want to see more of this event, just to like search out. But like I was saying earlier, I don't want to like have like so much search in the deck and then just like bottom deck super important core pieces, like stuff that's not searchable. I think that's like the main issue with this deck is that there's a lot of important cards that aren't searchable in the deck, like your Judgments and your Zero Cost and all these other cards that kind of just tie it, glue the deck together a little bit.
Yeah, I guess you can figure out a proper way to get more draw value out of the deck, then it probably wouldn't be too much of a problem, but since it doesn't have that necessarily without the Rosamonte, it's not as good to be running it. I see what you're saying.
Yeah. But yeah, this is my list. Let me know in the comments below what should be substituted out for the people who are playing Sugar and have had a lot of success with it. Hopefully tonight I'll be making a updated profile. Maybe I'll just cut this video entirely and make a winner list. But if it doesn't go undefeated tonight, I'm not expecting it to. Then I'll just upload this video for you guys to enjoy. And yeah, that's the list.